What's up? Welcome back to this new video. This one is paper 1-2 of October-November 2022 for Add Math. Now with that being said, obviously let's move on to your questions. Number 1. So here what do we have? So we have this graph, okay? Now the diagram shows the graph of y equal to a sine bx plus c, where a, b, and c are integers. Now integers are definitely whole numbers, right? Whole numbers. We have to find the values of a, b, and c by using this graph. Now, one thing we can see right away is that this one plus c is the y-intercept. It is the place where it cuts your y-axis. As you can see, it cuts your y-axis exactly at this position. This point is what? Y equal to -4 and hence equal to c. So here we have c equal to -4. Now, what is the next thing we can find using the graph? We can find the value of a, which is the amplitude, right? A. Amplitude is pretty easy. We have the height. The height is what? It will be -2, -6 will be -6, -2. The height is the value of 4. Well, here you will get -4, but definitely we don't care about the sign here. The height is 4, right? Amplitude will be, half of that will be just 2. Again, for amplitude, we don't care about the sign. It is just the value that we care about. So a will be the value of 2. Again, amplitude is just this value over here. That is your value of a, right? Now what else? We have to find the value of b. Now for b, it is kind of tricky, but we have to understand something. Is that when do we use b? So whenever we have to find the period of this graph, we use b. So the period, we know it is given by what? A formula, which is 2 pi divided by b. Right. Now, what is the period of this graph? So as you can see, then now the period is basically the distance it take for it to complete one cycle. For example, if I start here, I will do all this. This will be one cycle. That will be 2 cycle, and that will be 3 cycle. Now as you can see, we have 3 cycle. It took minus pi to 0 and then 0 to 2 pi. It took 2 pi to complete 3 cycle. Now obviously we only care about one cycle because one cycle is the period. That will be 2 pi over 3. So comparing, period is 2 pi over 3. Now obviously this and this will cancel out. We cross multiply. B will have to be the value of 3. So this one is pretty straightforward actually. As you can see, the value of a has to be 2, value of b has to be 3, c has to be -4. Okay, and that will be your question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2. So here what do we have? On the axis we have to draw this graph. This is a modulus graph stating the coordinates of the points where the graph meets the axis. So we have to show where it cuts our s-axis and the y-axis as well. Now, one thing we can do is we can first ignore the modulus. We can first pretend y is equal to 3x squared plus 13x minus 10. Now you would say at x-axis, what do we know? It's always true. At x-axis, y is equal to 0. You will have 3x squared plus 13x minus 10 is 0. Now from this we can factorize obviously and see what happens. That become factorize. That become 3x times x, and 10 is simply 1 times 10, so 1 and 10. To get the value of plus 13, we gotta do what? I guess we have the wrong distribution. So obviously my goal is to factorize so that I have plus 13 in this distribution. Let me try again because it doesn't seem to be right here. So that will be this one, that'll be 3x, and that'll be x. 10 is 5 times 2. Okay, now this is better. So to get plus 13, I have to have plus 15 minus 2. Okay, now this is a good factorization. Again, if you guys cannot factorize properly, you can always use your formula to find the values of x for this quadratic equation. Now solve for x. X is equal to 2 over 3. X is equal to minus 5. Okay, that will be the two values of x on the x-axis. Now similarly, obviously, I want to know at the y-axis when x is equal to 0. Replace back in your equation. Y will be, this will become 0 plus 0 minus 10. So y will be the value of minus 10. Now what else do we need to know? We need to know something else, is that since this is a quadratic equation, it could be in this shape, right? Or in this shape. Now which one will it be? Since the coefficient is 3 plus 3 is positive, you will have to have a minimum shape. So we'll choose this shape. Now we have to find the minimum point, right? So how can you do that? Let's first find the minimum point. We can use dy by dx to find that. Let me find this here. So y was given to you by 3x squared plus 13x minus 10. So dy by dx will be what? Will be 6x plus 13. Now we do understand that at the minimum point, at this stationary point, dy by dx have to be 0. So x will be minus 13 over 6. Okay. Now obviously we have to find the corresponding value of y. So y will be what? Replace this back in your calculator. So minus 13 over 6. This is my answer. So 3 answer square plus 13 answer minus 10. That will give me minus 24 1 over 12. This is what minus 13 over 6 is, simply minus 2 1 over 6. So this is my my stationary point. Again, this is the graph without the modulus. So let's first draw this graph. Again, this is not the final answer. It is just a draft before your answer, right? So let's first mark those points. So first thing first, let's mark the points where it cuts the axis. So x equal to, let's say, 2 over 3 should be something over here. Alright, 2 over 3. Minus 5, let's say, it's something over here. Again, I'm only using approximation. I don't really know where these values are. I'm just using approximation. What else? When it is equal to 0, I have y is equal to minus 10. I'll choose minus 10 to be somewhere over here. Okay. And then the minimum point is minus 2 1 over 6. Let's say it's somewhere over here. And then minus 24 1 over 12. Let's say it's somewhere over here. Right? Approximately, right? So that should be my points. Now, from what I can see, I know it will be this shape. This will be my minimum point here. Try your best to form a smooth curve. So from what I have, it seems that I have something like this. Right? Again, always use a pencil for your drawing. Right? Something like this. Okay, so this is the initial draft. Right? Now, we have to apply the modulus sign. So what does modulus mean? Modulus means everything which is below will be reflected upwards. So this point here will be going right here. Or this one will become right here, 10. And then this will have to be somewhere over here. Right? So let's connect them. So okay. So by reflection, if this was minus 10, that will have to be 10, and the value here have to be 24 1 over 12. Obviously try your best to draw this inside of the scale. Again, it is only by approximation I did that. There's no need to go past it, but the idea is the same. First draw the regular graph, and then use reflection. Everything below will have to go up. So your answer will be the blue lines. You will have to erase this one from your graph. So your answer will be only this one. Okay. Obviously, if you keep going, this will keep going, and this will keep going, right? All right, cool. Now this is your question part A. Now question part B, we have to find the set of values of k for which this equation has exactly two distinct roots. Now what is this? As we have seen before, this is simply y. So we have to know y equal to k. We have to find the values of k for which it has two distinct roots. Now we do understand y equal to a value, a constant k, means we are drawing horizontal lines. Like for what horizontal lines on our graph will only give us two distinct solutions. Now for example, if I were to draw, again I'm just drawing here to show you guys, if I were to draw a line right here, that will give me 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it would not be a good solution, a good value for k. I only need two solutions, so that is only possible. Why not? Draw my line here, right? It will meet only at those 2 points right here. And what is the equation of that line? This will be y equal to 0, will be that line. And what else? As you can see, for example, my graph seems to be something like this, right? I have a point right here. So if I draw a line here, it will be 4 solutions, 3 solutions. Anything above this line will be 2 solutions. So anything above this one. So what is this point? As you can see, this is the value of y equal to 24 1 over 12, right? So anything above this will give me solutions which will only give me 2 distinct solutions. Hence, first one, k, can be 0, as you can see, only 2 solutions, or k can be more than this, right? If it's on this, it will be 1, 2, 3 solutions, right? If you continue, if it's exactly on that point, it will be 1, 2, 3, but if it is more, it will only give me 2 solutions. Or k can be more than the value of 24 1 over 12. And this will be the set of values of k for which this equation right here has exactly two distinct roots. And that is your question number 2. Now let's move on to question number 3. So we have to simplify, write the left hand side into the right hand side. So one by one, how would you simplify this? So for the top, so what is square root? Square root is power half. You will have 9 power half. P half times 2 will be 1. Q power half times R power minus 3. Divide by, let's expand, you will have 2 power 3 will be 8. P power 3. Q power minus 1. 5. Sorry, R 1 over 5. Simplify. This will give me 3 over 8, right? Multiply by, so P 1 divide by P3 with minus 3, multiply Q, this one, divide is this, then we have power minus 1 at the bottom, and then multiply by R minus 3 minus 1 over 5. Alright, cool. Let's see what happens now. So here we have 3 over 8, P minus 2, Q, that'll become plus plus, that'll be 1.5, 3 over 2. Because if you take half plus 1 is 1.5, which is 3 over 2. R is minus 3 minus 1.5, which is what? Minus 3. So minus 3, 1/5, right? Now we can always simplify this. Sorry, this is not that. Let's simplify. If you have this, you will take the base is 1 here. You will have what? The base will become 5. You will have minus 15 minus 1 over this. It is this actually, but let me expand this. That will become minus 16 over 5. So it will be minus 16 over 5. You can write this, or you can simplify if you want to. That will be 3 over 8 p power minus 2 q 1.5 r minus 3.2. Okay, and that will be your answer for question part 3. Step by step, using the laws of indices to simplify this. I hope the first half of the video was somewhat helpful. If you guys would love to access the full video, feel free to click on the Patreon link on the main page, or otherwise, you can go to the description below and click on this link to access the Patreon page for the full video. With that being said, good luck and thank you for watching.